my friends? Hello, and welcome back to another episode of 15-Minute Free Thinking. Today's discussion is going to be about work, but it's also going to be about purpose in life. This is my typical off-the-cuff episode. Right now I'm sitting here at work. I decided to take my lunch break and use the opportunity to bring some thoughts to the table here. It's been fresh on my mind, the idea of purpose and having something to live for, having something to look forward to in life. And work plays a large role in that. We spend a third of our life at least at work. If you work a normal 8-hour day in the US, then you are working more than 8 hours. You're spending an hour to get ready. You're spending an hour driving to and from work, whatever it may be. There's always more time spent. So you're spending over a third of your life, meaning you spend a third of your life sleeping, over a third of your life working. You're spending more time working than you are at home. We all know this. So with that comes the responsibility to take a job that we can tolerate. And this isn't always easy. Often people end up getting stuck with jobs they really hate. Now, the reason I'm discussing this now is because I'm actually laid off right now. Technically, my boss, I guess technically I could collect unemployment right now because he ran out of work. I hadn't really thought about that, but that's not what I want to do. I want to work. I want to make money. I don't want free money. So I build tiny houses. I'm sitting inside the one we just finished. It was a spec build for a client. That's why there's the echo. It's pretty empty. And I've known over the past several months that my boss was most likely going to move to Mexico. They bought a B&B down there. He's going to move down there for a few months and then move back, but he's retiring. He's of retiring age. And I started working for him about a year and a half ago. And I took the job specifically, at least for the reason of using my carpentry skills, but also to do something that I really wanted to do. To maybe launch myself into my own career of building tiny houses. And I've learned a lot. I really have, and I'm glad I had the opportunity. But I knew he was leaving right before Christmas, of course. And so right now at work, I'm actually unemployed. He's paying me under the table for a couple of days to clean up the shop. So I've been out here organizing all the tools, dusting, cleaning up all the messes over the past several years here, and making it look like a nice shop. He's hoping to sell it to someone else. Maybe they may take the business over, maybe I could work for them, I don't know. But there was something special about working with my boss because he was a unique individual and he kind of gave me the space to do what I wanted to do. And if I needed help, I could ask. But usually the help I need doing what I do isn't asking how to do something so much as asking, how do you want this done? And as a carpenter, you may have a certain way of building something, and the boss may have a completely different idea about how to do it. And you just go along with what they say. You can make recommendations, but I got to the point where he would let me build things the way that I wanted, as long as they got done. And that's what it really comes down to. Regardless of what you do for work, coming up with our own methods is part of the experience. Our own way of getting things done. That unique mind that we need to make a workplace interesting. There are a lot of boring jobs out there. I do not envy anyone who pushes papers. I honestly think that I would go completely insane if I had to go to work every day, go into a stuffy office with office carpet and cubicles, and sit on a computer all day and type out, figures or profits or whatever it might be. That is to me like a nightmare, but to some people they very much enjoy organization. They like doing that kind of stuff. I gotta say there's a very small portion of people who probably do, but some do. And I suppose it's the same way that not a lot of people want to get their hands dirty and are willing to work near very busy or very sharp saw blades in a busy atmosphere where you have to hustle. Some of us do like it. I enjoy what I do, but that's just what I do right now. And one of the most crucial things I think, to remember is that we aren't what we choose to do at any one time or another. I'm not a carpenter. I'm a human being that does carpentry. I have many other interests and things. I would rather be a speaker, honestly. If I could choose, I would rather talk about topics and discuss and learn better editing techniques. But obviously I don't want it that bad, or I'd push a little harder and do that. I guess I like the spontaneity of just being able to just give my thoughts to the world without the world consuming me with all the bullshit that's going on out there that I'd have to pay attention to. Since we spend so much time working and thinking about work, I suppose we owe it to ourselves to try and find something we enjoy. My son, who is 14 now, my middle-aged son, if you will, he's been very concerned lately. He's a freshman in high school. We went on a walk last night, and he was talking about his concern about college and what he should do and what he wants to do. And I was explaining to him that I've thought about going back to college, and he kind of had this look on his face like, "You can do that?" Like, of course. You can go to college anytime you want. There's people who go to college after they retire. In fact, one of the most famous books on plants in the 1800s, well-renowned book, was written by a lady who was 65. She had retired and decided, I want to write a book about plants. And it ended up being a great success. It was an informational book. You know, in fact, I think that some of the greatest things we can do, we probably will do after we're 40, 50, 60, as long as we allow ourselves to. The problem is we have the inspiration and the drive when we're young, but we don't have the wisdom to know what really matters. As we get older, we start to understand things on a different level that is very unexplainable, but you feel things differently. And then you say, well, where's the goddamn energy that allows me to process these things, you know? Where's the energy that I need, that I had when I was young, to say, all right, I'm gonna put this into action. I'm gonna start this business, and I'm gonna go out and talk to these clients and post this ad and start this website, whatever it might be for you. It's really hard to navigate a world where work seems to be how people define themselves rather than an example of just something they can do. Hey, I can do this, but I can also do this. A discussion I was having with someone the other day was about being a jack of all trades, and it's also known as a multi-potentialite. Someone came up with that term, not me. And but there was the old saying, jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than master of one. That was the rest of it, because knowing a little bit of everything helps you make better decisions in life. So I say that to remind people not to get trapped in something and think you have to start a job when you're 18 and then work that your whole life and then retire. You might have to take a pay cut for your sanity or your health. Like when I was a carpenter and I had to quit, stop my business completely because my back was so messed up. And now I'm doing it again. I'm just doing it more carefully, but I'm getting paid less because that's just how it goes sometimes. We have a lot of opportunities to do things if we just stick our neck out and try them. Maybe I'll be a surgeon next. No, I would not want the stress of a job like that. I really wouldn't. And I commend people that do very difficult jobs. I was instilled with a work ethic, and this is a final note here. When I was younger, between my mom and my dad and my friends and my bosses that I respected, I learned to work hard. My dad was a mail carrier and he worked until he died of cancer, like until he could not, work anymore. And he didn't love it, but he did it. And I respect the fact that people can continue to push themselves to do things that they maybe don't love, but just for the sake of feeling productive, bringing home money for the family. You got teenage sons, you don't have much of a choice, but he tried everything, truck driving, different side hustles, which is what I've tried as well. But ultimately we come back to sometimes things we love, which may not pay as well as other things, and that's okay, as long as you're sane. But that's my podcast for the day. I'm gonna get back to work now, because if I don't, I feel like I just never will finish this place. It is complete chaos. I also need to do a walkthrough, so if anybody wants to see this place, I'll probably have another video posted shortly of the interior of the tiny house here, and the last tiny house, I should say. And if you're listening to the audio version of this, I guess you can't see it, but you can look on YouTube. So that's all I got. Over and out. Talk to y'all next time. Be well now. Oh, yeah. My body is killing me, bruh.